Hey folks, welcome back to the Murray Homestead. Spring is right around the corner, and you know what that means? Lots and lots of grass. I'm going to show you all how we maintain our pasture here on the homestead. So I'll be doing a quick review on the X570. If you're interested in this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the stupid bell, because we have a lot more coming. Alrighty, so this is my John Deere X570. And this is a lawn tractor, according to John Deere. I picked this one because it's not a commercial machine, but it is heavy duty in many ways. And I guess I'll start with the engine. This engine is the 24 horsepower I-Torque from John Deere. It's actually a Kawasaki engine. And if you know anything about small engines, Kawasaki, basically the best. It is a 726cc. And it is not Kawasaki's commercial line, but it is their professional line. I was a little concerned about the power because 24 horsepower is, for the most part, as high as John Deere goes. So I was worried about it having enough power. When I did a little bit of research, I was really surprised. This thing has almost exactly 40 pound-feet of torque. So for a gasoline engine, that's very odd that it has so much more torque than horsepower, and it makes just under 40. At 2,000 RPM. So it's got a lot of torque. It has absolutely no problem moving this machine, and I've had no issues with it bogging down or anything like that. It has 15 by 6.5 inch tires on front and 24 by 12 on the back. And what's nice about that is the bigger the tire, generally, the smoother the ride. And then they're full 12 inches wide. If you come back here and take a peek, they're really wide tires. So it's very gentle on the lawn. It doesn't tear it up, and it's really hard to get stuck. That being said, this thing has the heavy duty K72 transaxle. Again, it is the heavy duty one. And in regards to not getting stuck, there's this little button right here. If you come look here, when you press that, it locks the rear differential. And it really helps you get out of a tight spot if you think you're going to get stuck. Because it is the heavy duty transaxle, this thing is rated to tow 800 pounds. That's a whole lot of, hay, chicken feed, mulch, whatever you're doing around your property. And that's also one of the main reasons why I got it. In addition to the heavy duty transaxle and the high torque engine, this also has a welded steel frame, which again, the lawnmowers you see out front of Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff, the S-Series, they generally don't have all these features. They're significantly lighter duty. So this is a surprisingly heavy duty machine. This part of the body and the bottom is all stamped steel. The hood, just like even the great big old John Deere 5 Series tractors, they all have this plastic hood. John Deere claims it's better. Some people like it, some people don't. I haven't had an issue with it yet. So it's been working really well for me. This particular one has the 48-inch Excel Deep mowing deck on it. You can get a wider one, but I specifically chose 48 inches. One, so I could utilize the torque of the engine as much as possible. And two, I have a 4-foot perimeter on my perimeter fence, if that makes sense. So on the outside of my fence, I have a 4-foot wide little lane that I keep maintained to keep the vegetation and stuff off of the fence. All right, that's most of the specifications. I will say it weighs 737 pounds dry, no fuel. So that's really heavy for a lawnmower. Again, I haven't had any issues with compression or it tearing up the ground. It's actually very gentle on the ground. And because it's so heavy, you do get a whole bunch of traction. And you can put 4 42-pound weights on the rear. That comes standard. And if you want, it's a different kit, but you can fit 4 42-pound weights on the front too. So you can really weigh this thing down. If you live up north, they do make a snow plow attachment for this machine. And again, because it's a lawn tractor, it has enough torque and enough weight that you can actually clear driveways and stuff really well with it. Overall, I really like the machine a lot. It's very easy to operate. It's got a hydrostatic transaxle with just you push that pedal, go forward, and push that pedal to go back. You take your foot off the pedal and the machine for the most part stops. So very, very easy to operate. The engine has a manual choke to start it. Before the freeze last week, I started this and just let it run for about 15 minutes just to keep everything circulated. And at below freezing, it still started with the first turn. I have just over 70 hours, I believe 72.9 hours on this machine so far. And I've had no issues with it. It works really well. As far as the maintenance, you basically just need to clean the air filter, change the oil, and then a really big one is keep these spindles lubricated. They make it pretty easy to get a zerk gun in there, or a grease gun in there on that zerk fitting to keep the spindles lubricated. Other than that, it's been very durable. I like it a lot. If there's a con on this machine, is the seat just has these two springs for suspension or for cushion. Not that big a deal. You have to get a significantly more expensive lawnmower to get that nice floating seat. But I use one of these little gel pads you get at Walmart or off of Amazon. And it adds cushion, but then airflow too. And this makes mowing significantly more comfortable. I did add the little steering wheel knob on it. That just helps turn, because when you're doing hand over hand over and over, it can get a little bit tiring. So I just put the knob on it and it makes it really quick and easy to turn. I did disable, this comes from the factory. If you get off of the mower while the engine is mowing, there's a little sensor in here and it'll turn the machine off. Depending on your preference, that's a good thing or a bad thing. I did not like it at all, so I disabled that. I'll have a separate video on how to disable that safety. Thank you. And then my biggest pet peeve, and I don't know why it comes this way from the factory, is so you turn the actual mower deck on just by pulling this knob up or pushing it down. Very easy. But from the factory, you're mowing, and you need to back up to get around a tree or something, you know, to make a 3-point turn. And unless you push this little yellow button here and hold it, it'll kill the machine, or it'll kill the lawnmower when you're in reverse. And if you have on hearing protection, I've mowed for like 15 minutes because it doesn't kill the lawnmower, it just kills the PTO. And so it feels like you're still mowing, but I was just doing circles doing nothing. So I also disabled that, and I'll have a separate video on how to disable it. It's super quick and easy. So yeah, overall, that is my John Deere X570. It's worked really, really well here. We have about 3 acres total. So I'd say about 2 acres that I actually have to mow. And down here in the Houston area in the spring, you absolutely have to mow every square inch once a week. Otherwise, it just gets crazy. So I like it a lot. If y'all are interested, maybe try to get an order in before spring. I went through United Ag and Turf. They have no idea who I am besides the fact that I give them money for this machine. But if you're down here in Texas, they have a lot of locations and they finance through John Deere. It's not third party, and John Deere's financing is awesome. And if you have a question about your financing, you pick up the phone and call them, and you actually talk to a human being. So the after purchase support has been really good. Oh, and this does have a 4-year or 500-hour warranty. That's from John Deere again. So yeah, that's my machine. I hope y'all like it. Let me know what y'all think. If you have any comments or questions or anything like that, put them down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the stupid bell, because we got more stuff like this coming. Thank you.